their scheme and how they played offenses in the past, we knew we were going to have to take a lot of shots downfield today. And we knew that they're a defense that's not going to give you a lot of underneath stuff, and you've got to make those plays down the field. So going into the game, we knew that was going to be the plan, and I think we converted on a lot of them. I think there was still some we left out there, but we did convert on a lot of those deep shots.
Yeah, I mean, we had gotten some chunk runs throughout the whole day. You know, some of those 4, 5, 6 yard runs that we're hitting, and I mean, up front, once again, it starts with them. They did an unbelievable job blocking, and for me, it was just seeing Aaron turn on the jets, and you know, Dory is a track guy. He's fast, man. So I was happy I got in the end zone because you know he hawks a lot of people down.
Really started with Gio last week. You know, he stopped the coach after the game and said, "Hey, fellas, the same thing happened to us last year. You know, we was riding high, went on the road, it got beat up pretty bad. Then we kind of tanked. You know, lost 7 in a row. So we need to do our best to make sure that doesn't happen again." So sense of urgency was high, especially with us being at home. So it was great to defend home. We didn't start off great at home. We've been winning at home since, so we just got to keep it going, take this momentum up to Green Bay.
I think it's good. Anytime you have a tough week, you know, anytime things seem to go south on you, it's always good. You always can't wait to play the next game. You know, you want to get that taste out of your mouth. And that's what today was. You know, it's still just one game. It doesn't mean anything outside of that. But, you know, to come back home after a tough week and get off the road and play and win a game here at home against a team that's, you know, been playing better as of late, 1-2 in a row coming into today, was a huge win and huge bounce back for us.
You got to understand that you don't just go out and win games. You know, regardless if we won or lost last week, the attitude has to be the same every week of good week of practice, make sure you're paying attention to details, and urgency has always got to be the same. I don't think, you know, when people say we got to have more urgency than we usually do, I think that either means that you aren't doing a good job in the previous weeks, because it always should be the same. And that's kind of what Greg addressed, was you don't just go out and win games, you got to work extremely hard, and Coach did a good job of making sure this week that we did do that, and guys really you know, took it to heart and reacted in the right way.
We've always known what we've had in Curtis and DJ and Jay Wright and Greg and Christian. We've known what we've had in them. People can say what they want, but we know what we've had in these receivers, and they stepped up big today like they have a lot of times in the past. So I think they're young receivers who are playing at a really high level, and they're continuing to get better and better at their craft.
And we have so many guys on our team who are very, very unselfish, who do so much without the ball in their hands. And Jay Wright's one of those guys that's right at the top. You know, somebody who blocks his butt off all the time and never complains. I think that's all our receivers too. And you know, I think football is the biggest team game ever. When you got guys, even like Greg Olsen. You know, Greg Olsen's a guy who's had 1,000-yard receiving years, and you know, he's a guy that's not afraid to stick his head in there and block. And that says a lot about who he is and about who this team is. So I'm very fortunate to be able to play with guys like that.
Greg Olsen's point, you know, guys, we can talk about it all I want, but we have to go out and do it. And I thought our guys went out and handled it pretty good, you know, and I was very happy for them today. I really was. And, you know, again, in light of the fact that, you know, this is our first home game in 5 weeks. I mean, it was great to have the fans. It was great to hear Sweet Caroline at the end of the day.